We've got, on the right-hand side, if you could look for me, you have a little chart here. You may have seen something like this before. Hopefully it will make sense to you. 1 times 1 is 1, so the square root of 1 is 1. 2 times 2 is 4, so I'm going to write some of these out. So the square root of 4 is 2. Does that make sense? Maybe? Okay, 3 times 3 is 9, so what's the square root of 9? 3, you're with me. 4 times 4 is 16, so the square root of 16 is 4, and so on. Does that make sense? So to get a perfect square, you multiply two of the same number together. If you're going backwards and taking the square root, you're trying to figure out, okay, what is that number that just got multiplied by itself? So looking here in your little table, if you have a highlighter, this is a good thing to highlight. This is what is very important. These are the first 15 perfect squares that you, I would say, should probably memorize. Okay? There's a good chance you already have the first 12, just based on maybe like elementary math, okay? You probably know, hopefully you know your times tables, maybe up through 12. And then 13 squared is 169, 14 squared is 196, and 15 squared is 225. So please make a note, these are all examples of perfect squares. What that means is that if I were to make a square with side lengths of 3 and 3, then the area of that square would be 9. If I had a square with side lengths of 9 and 9, then the area of that square would be 81, because 9 times 9 is 81. Okay, guys, what's the square root of 36? 6, because 6 times 6 is 36, so you could write it out over to the side or below it. Because 36 is a perfect square, you get an actual whole number as your answer. Questions on that?
No.
Okay, let's move on. We taught this in 8th grade. What's the square root of 169?
13.
It is 13, because 13 times 13 is 169. And the last one is square root of 81 is 9. Quick pro tip with your calculators. Typically, there is a square root button that you have to use the second key for. So it depends on your calculator. But like on mine, I think that they all are under, or not under, they're above the x squared button. And you'll see a little, usually in blue, I think, the root. And so you have to click the blue second button to get it, typically. Yours might be different, so look at your calculator. Some of them, specifically like the Casios, some of them have an actual root button. It just depends on your calculator. But if it's a graphing calculator, you probably will have to press the second key, okay? Or shift, I think is what it's often called. Each of those answers had a whole number answer since we're taking the square root of a perfect square. However, if the radicand, the number inside the root, is not a perfect square, we can simplify it if it has a perfect square factor. So simplify it if it has a perfect square factor. This is what you're looking for, is a perfect square factor. So what you're going to try to do is see, okay, is there anything in that table, you've highlighted these numbers, hopefully, or marked them, any of these numbers, 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, etc., that my number can divide by evenly. Meaning, if I divide by it, it should get you a whole number and not a decimal. Okay. When we do this, so I'll do an example and then I'll explain how I'll write it. So there's an example here with square root of 75. It's kind of written out as a sentence, like square root of 75 can be broken up in the square root of 25 times the square root of 3. The square root of 25 is 5, so it becomes 5 root 3. But I'm going to do that. It's confusing, I think, when it's written like this. So the square root of square root of 75 can divide evenly by 25. Because 25 is a perfect square, right? Look at your table. 5 times 5 is 25. So I break it up as square root of 25 times the square root of 3. And what is the square root of 25? 5. So you actually take this square root and say, well, that is 5. So it becomes 5 root 3. So that's an example in addition to the ones that we'll just do in a second. So once you see it all out, I will always put the perfect square in front. And I'll put I call it the leftover. I don't know. The other number, right? Okay, so you got your perfect square will go first. Your other number will go on the right, or your leftover, whatever is left over after you factor out the perfect square. This is something that you would have seen in geometry, okay? I know that we all teach it here. Square root of 72, you are trying to figure out a number, one of the perfect squares that 72 can divide by evenly, and we usually want to find the biggest one. So like I know that 72 divides evenly by 4, but that's not the largest perfect square it can divide by. So can you please figure out with your table what's the largest one? So 4 and 9 both divide evenly, but what's the biggest number it divides evenly by? It divides evenly by 36. So when I do this, guys, because I know some of my factors in my head, but I will guess and check with a calculator and say, okay, 72 divided by 36, does that work? Yes, it does. It's 36 times 2. So 36 is your biggest factor. So I would put 36 in front because that's my perfect square. Maybe I should do it in like red. So square root of 36 times the square root of 2. And now we're going to simplify the left side. What's the square root of 36? 6. So it becomes 6 root 2. And that is it. So it's square root of 100 times the square root of 2. We'll simplify the rest when we get back. Bye. So this would become, so it's square root of 100 times the square root of 5, so it's 10 root 5. And you just put them side by side. Okay, your last one. Square root of 20, can you talk to your table? Which one does that divide by? Which perfect square? 4 is the only perfect square that 20 divides by besides 1. So you split it up as square root of 4 times square root of 5. And what is the square root of 4? 2. It is 2, so it becomes 2 root 5. And that is your final answer. Okay, I'm going to add one little example here because of the worksheet we're doing today. Number 7. Let's do 3 root 75. Okay. We already talked about the square root of 75. What's the perfect square it divides by?
36.
No.
Oh.
25. Thank you, Josh. Okay. And we go ahead and take the square root of 25, which is what? 5. But now we have this, right? So if there's a number in front, all you have to do is multiply. So I would do this multiplication, 3 times 5. And I get 15 root 3. So if there's a number in front, kind of like pretend it's not there for a while, and then at the end you'll multiply it by the number in front if you get another number outside the radical. Okay?